If giant and dangerous monsters attack our Earth, and destroy everything, what will happen then? Then comes the Ultraman, and we all know him. How does he save everyone from the monster after coming? And how did he become an Ultraman? We will find out all this in this story. So, the story begins in Japan. A giant monster came there and was destroying everything. The whole troop of army was there and was trying to stop that monster by any means. But then they find out that the monster could be disappeared. That's why when they use the special camera, they find out that the monster was going to a very big electricity company in Japan. So, the monster can go there and take all the electricity inside him. As a result of this, he will become more powerful. Now, he comes there and eats the electricity like his food and starts destroying everything. Because as soon as he ate that electricity, he got a lot of power inside him. Now, that's why the whole country was suffering a lot. The Japanese army was also attacking the monster with missiles, but it also destroys them. Now, that monster became even angrier. The whole army was trying to stop this monster. The army does not understand anything. Now one of them, whose name was Shinji, he sees a child trapped in the city and is in great danger, because of that monster, because the monster was also around him. Now, Shinji goes to save that child. Then we see that a giant object comes down from the sky and falls, which also gives a big jerk to the monster, and he falls away. On the other side, Shinji also came to save that child. Now, Shinji's life was in danger because of the storm there, and then, after confronting the storm, he falls away. Then we learn that the storm that came from the sky to the earth, it was none other than a very big Ultraman. But suddenly the monster attacks Ultraman, as soon as he sees him, but his attack does not affect anything, because the Ultraman's body was also made of electricity. Now, that monster knew how powerful he is, so, the monster attacks him secretly after disappearing and going behind the mountains. All the attacks which he was doing with electricity, Ultraman accumulates in his body and then attacks very strongly. After pulling out extremely potent electric lasers with his hand, he destroys the monster. After this, a very big explosion occurs. Ultraman's attack had destroyed the monster, but because of his attack, even the big mountains were destroyed. Now, Ultraman flies and goes toward the sky. There Shinji also saved that child. Now, he goes back to his work. Then all his friends notice him doing strange things. Seeing him, it seemed that he was not the real Shinji. Now, it turns out that another monster has come to the city and is destroying everything. People were running here and there to save their lives. The army thinks about how to stop this monster. In this, they also take help from America when they attack that monster with their dangerous jets. But the monster remains unharmed from this, because he was destroying everything while passing under the ground. That monster was also moving toward the electric plant to eat it, and if this happens, the monster will be very powerful and destroy everything. Now, he comes out of the ground, which was very scary and powerful. After passing from the mountains, he starts reaching the electric plant. Now, the army was also preparing to catch that monster. Meanwhile, Shinji's friend sees that Shinji was disappeared from there. Actually, he had already come to the forest to stop that monster, and suddenly he turns into an Ultraman. Now, we come to know that Shinji was the Ultraman. He goes to that monster and starts beating him by going round and round. Because of this, he falls away. The monster was also angry. Because of this, he also attacks the Ultraman, that is, Shinji. But he grabs the monster, turns it around and throws it. Because of this, the monster gets so angry, that he opens his big mouth and takes out the laser beam light from it. This laser light was very dangerous for ordinary people, but the monster didn't know how powerful this light was for the Ultraman. Now, as soon as the monster throws that light toward the Ultraman, he starts absorbing it inside himself. Because of this, he became even more powerful. Now, a great fight starts between the two of them. The Ultraman comes close to him and throws all that light on the face of that monster. Now, because of this, that monster died. After this, he picks it up and takes it far away from the ground into the sky. Everyone knew that the Ultraman was on their side. He wants to help humans. Meanwhile, Shinji comes there. When his friend sees him, he was looking very strange, because no one knows yet that he is the Ultraman. On TV, It was informed about the Ultraman everywhere. Who was he and where did he come from? Everyone wanted to know about him. Now, the system of the Japanese company gets hacked here. All their data was stolen. Everyone was worried about what happened to them. Meanwhile, a strange alien comes there whose name was Mephisto. He stole everyone's data. He says, I want to talk to your prime minister. If you don't make me talk to him, I will destroy everything here. When the prime minister finds out, he also gets ready to meet that alien, because in return, that alien was going to give him such technology that could save him from the monster. Now, when Shinji finds out about this alien, he checks all the papers. From this, it reveals that alien Mephisto has come here to destroy humans on Earth. He is not a good alien and neither is he going to give any technology. But now Mephisto also comes to know that Shinji is against him. After finding about him, he comes to him. Mephisto also knew that Shinji is the Ultraman. Now, he comes to him and says that humans are not worth living on Earth, and I will destroy all humanity from Earth, and then we will rule. I will rule alone. Saying this, he hypnotizes Shinji and makes him unconscious. After this, everyone gets the news that Ultraman is destroying everything on Earth, but no one believes it, because he used to help humans. He used to save them from every trouble, but now he was destroying everything in front of the army. They also try to stop him a lot. Then, we see Shinji locked in a room. This means that Shinji was not the one who was destroying the world. Now, we come to know that the alien had kidnapped Shinji after knocking him unconscious, and then he made his Ultraman and sent him to the world. So, he does wrong things after going into the world, and can harm the people. So, everyone becomes the enemy of Ultraman, and that's what happens. His plan was working. People who used to consider Ultraman as their hero, now started to consider him as their enemy, and the government also gives the order to kill Ultraman. On the other hand, Shinji's video also becomes very viral, in which he turned into the Ultraman from a device. Now, everyone learns that Shinji was Ultraman, and he is the one who is destroying the world now. Shinji's friend gets his device. She tells her head that Shinji's life is in danger, because he becomes Ultraman with this device. If this device is here, then who is Ultraman? Who is destroying the world? She starts looking for Shinji, and she finds him. Now, Shinji tells her that I know, the one who is destroying the world is no one else. In fact, he is an alien, and this is his plan. Now, Shinji had to save the world by competing with him. Now, that alien who was made the Ultraman comes and attacks Shinji's friend. But here Shinji's friend changes into Ultraman after using the device. He also saves his friend. After this, a fight starts between the alien and Ultraman, that is Shinji. Here, the Ultraman takes out the laser light from his hand, that hits the alien and now he has come to his real face. That is, the alien. But he was not to give up so easily. He attacks Ultraman, and then tries to run away from there but Ultraman catches him. Now, these two were fighting while flying in the air. Ultraman uses his laser light, and blows that alien in the air, but he also competes with him. Now Ultraman makes a very powerful circle that he throws toward the alien. It was so powerful that he tears the body of the alien, which causes a powerful explosion, and he dies in the sky. After this, Ultraman went to save other people. Their problems have not ended yet. Now, another alien again comes to his company, who had taken the form of a human, who tells everyone that I have such a device, which makes Shinji Ultraman. He shows the device to everyone, and also promises to give it. He says that anyone can grow up from a normal human and become an Ultraman with this device, but that alien had a condition. He had to become the Prime Minister of Japan. Now, when the Prime Minister finds out, he also agrees to make that alien the Prime Minister in the greed of that device. He did this so that he could compete with that monster, and could save the people living in the world. After this, that alien comes to Shinji. He knows that he is the real Ultraman, because when Shinji went to the forest to save the child, then the storm that came from the arrival of Ultraman, which caused a very big explosion, Shinji died in it. But seeing this, Ultraman felt very bad. Then he put his soul in Shinji's body, but this was against his principles in the world of Ultraman. But he gave Shinji life, and puts his life in his body. On the other hand, the Prime Minister had given his place to the alien. In return, now he gives him that device. By this, anyone could change into Ultraman. But then the real Ultraman comes and takes that device. Now, that alien who was in human form, he comes in his real form, and starts fighting Ultraman. Ultraman had no faith in any of the alien's words. He knew that he had come to destroy humans on this earth like the first alien. Now, the alien was much more powerful than Ultraman. He was attacking him a lot. In their fight, everything is destroyed. And here he used his laser light. Both were trying to defeat each other. Sometimes the alien was dominating and sometimes Ultraman. Then during the fight, the alien sees that the other Ultraman was watching him from afar. Because of this, he decides to leave from here. I will leave now. Ultraman also gives him his device, from which he disappeared. Now, why was that? Here we come to know that the second Ultraman who was seen by the alien, it came from the planet of Ultraman. That Ultraman tells that Ultraman who was inside Shinji, "You have broken the rules of our world. We can never go into a human body, and if anyone finds out about us, then humans will destroy us. And I have come here to take you with me, and to destroy this world." That Ultraman takes out a device, and throws it towards the sky, which will go and destroy everything, and that device will turn into a very big monster, which will destroy the whole world. Now here Shinji was not happy with the words of that Ultraman. He comes to his office, and says goodbye to everyone for the last time and gives a pen drive, that has special information. Now, he was turning into Ultraman and going toward the big monster, which was made in the sky because of that device. Now, someone had to save the world. The Ultraman inside Shinji, he doesn't even care about his life, and he fights him, but his attack does not affect that monster, on which that monster attacks him again. He was so dangerous that he flew in the air and fell into the water, after which Shinji was in the hospital. His condition was very bad. After he became injured, no one understands how they'll save the people living in the world. Meanwhile, they think of that drive, which Shinji had given. Everything was written in it, how to fight the monster, and how to defeat him. After solving everything, they understand what they need to do now. Here they find out that they have to open the way to the other world by any means. After this, they'll send that monster to the other world, and with the help of that data, they have to make a device ready. After making a dangerous circle out of it, they can make a way to another world, that will pull the monster inside. But that device has to be taken to the sky. But all of this was very dangerous, because the Ultraman inside Shinji, if he runs this device, he will also go to the other world. But someone had to do this. The Ultraman inside Shinji, he found out that humans are very good. He smiles at everyone for the last time, and after changing into Ultraman, goes to the sky. Now, after reaching the big monster, he runs that device, which opened the way to the other world, which was pulling the monster inside. But its power was so much that it also pulls the Ultraman toward. He tries very hard to escape, but he went to the other world. Everyone on Earth was sad. That Ultraman sacrificed his life for them. But at the end of the movie we see that the other Ultraman had saved Ultraman. He was happy with his words, and he also knew that humans are not bad. That's why he asks him to stay in the world forever. As Shinji, humans get their superhero, who will always save them. And the movie ends here with this: if giant and dangerous monsters attack our Earth, and destroy everything, what will happen then? Then comes the Ultraman. And we all know him. How does he save everyone from the monster after coming? And how did he become an Ultraman? We will find out all this in this story. So, the story begins in Japan. A giant monster came there and was destroying everything. The whole troop of army was there and was trying to stop that monster by any means. But then they find out that the monster could be disappeared. That's why when they use the special camera, they find out that the monster was going to a very big electricity company in Japan. So, the monster can go there and take all the electricity inside him. As a result of this, he will become more powerful. Now, he comes there and eats the electricity like his food and starts destroying everything. Because as soon as he ate that electricity, he got a lot of power inside him. Now, that's why the whole country was suffering a lot. The Japanese army was also attacking the monster with missiles, but it also destroys them. Now, that monster became even angrier. The whole army was trying to stop this monster. The army does not understand anything. Now one of them, whose name was Shinji, he sees a child trapped in the city and is in great danger. because of that monster. Because the monster was also around him. Now, Shinji goes to save that child. Then we see that a giant object comes down from the sky and falls, which also gives a big jerk to the monster, and he falls away. On the other side, Shinji also came to save that child. Now, Shinji's life was in danger because of the storm there, and then